What is going on, Multiversers? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another, I guess, Multiversus video. Ha, weird. What a surprise. But today we get to take a look at some upcoming buffs for some characters, as well as a few characters that will be receiving some nerfs. But where's this information coming from? No, I'm not pulling this out of my butt. This is actually coming from Tony Huynh, the game director himself. So odds are we're going to see some of these, if not all of these, applied for the upcoming open beta, which starts in July. But we'll worry about that then. So what's the information we have? So first up, there is, let me back up just a tiny bit. In Multiversus, during battle, there are status effects that you can apply on your opponent. Frozen is one of them. Another one is called Weaken, and like you're weakening your opponent. And a lot of people were confused at what this ultimately did. Tony was very kind enough to tell us exactly what this does. So, Weaken, once applied, increases damage and knockback from subsequent attacks to that same target by 5% per stack. I believe there is a stack limit. Somebody let me know if I'm wrong, but I believe there is a limit to how many times something can stack in this game. But so think of it this way. Take two characters. If Batman is fighting Superman, and Batman goes and delivers an attack that applies this weakened status effect to Superman, well, now Superman is weakened. And there will be an indication above his character to let you know, yes, he is weakened. So any attacks that Batman does in the next, time frame before these stacks ultimately fall off, any attacks will do increased damage and increased knockback. So think of it like this. If you can apply the weakened status effect to an opponent, it will be easier to make to KO them ultimately. So you'll be dealing more damage. So if they're kind of at like mid to high damage range and you can apply this weakened effect, well then, those KO moves on certain characters can be even stronger. There will be more knockback. So if you can come up with a really fun perk set where you apply all sorts of, extra knockback or extra power, and then you can have a character that applies a weakened status effect as well, you're going to have a nutty character that's, a KOing monster. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts. But Tony did let us know what weakened status effect does, so thank you, Tony, for that. That's the only real general thing that we're going to talk about that kind of could apply to many characters. Now we get into the individual portion. So first up, Batman is supposedly receiving some buffs. So first up, Tony tells us that while in the smoke, Batman and allies ignore enemy projectiles. That's kind of crazy. So if you're standing still, if Batman throws his smoke bomb and Shaggy goes and throws his sandwich, it's gonna ignore the projectile altogether. I don't know if it's gonna just travel straight through you or if the projectile is just gonna like hit you and then kind of just disappear, but no damage will happen. So I'm not exactly sure, but that's still cool. So Batman's smoke ability will have a little bit more use instead of you just throwing down the smoke and go, they can't see me. So it looks like there's going to be a little bit more use to it. So that should be fun. But we got plenty more here. So continuing on, hitting with attacks while in the smoke or 1 second after coming out of the smoke will apply 5 stacks of weaken instead of 1. So look at that. Batman's smoke ability is getting even crazier. We just talked about what the weaken status effect does. So if you come out of smoke or if you can attack your opponent while you're in that smoke cloud, you get 5 stacks of weaken on your opponent. Remember, it's 5% per stack. That's 25% right there from this one attack. Batman's smoke ability is gonna be crazy nuts. I can't wait to see what, I don't know if that's gonna be too much or maybe they'll have to like drop. He said it was at 1, maybe 5 is too much. Maybe they drop it down to 3. I don't know. We'll have to play with this once the open beta comes out, but yes. And then another thing here, his up air applies an electric dot, damage over time, for a few seconds. So an electric damage over time. So your opponent will be taking, well, a little bit of extra damage over time. So that's kind of cool. And that's up air Yeah, that's just his up air, not up air 2, but up air. Okay, that's cool. So there's some good stuff for Batman's smoke ability. So I think that could be a pretty crazy new, not a bit, well, I mean, it's kind of an ability, but crazy move for Batman nonetheless. So any Batman players, maybe this is a really fun tweak or fun change that people were hoping for. So hopefully, this is good for Batman. Continuing on with Batman, actually, Tony tells us that Batman, he made his up air 1 go into 2 on hit more easily. So if you try to string the 2 attacks together, I guess there was much less of a chance in the closed alpha for this attack to possibly hit twice in a row. So something you will have to do in Multiversus when playing, when your opponent's above the stage, go up and get them. So you have 2 attacks in the air that you can, actually got more than 2, but use these attacks to go after your opponent. Put the pressure on them. So his first up air 1, if you hit that, then it can go into the second up air attack more easily. So I don't know if it's like a bigger hitbox. I don't know if the knockback is adjusted from the first one to the second one or something, but just a little bit extra consistency while you're kind of going for an up air KO. All right, a couple more little things here for Batman. Yeah, look at that. Batman's getting all sorts of love today. Oh, we all love Batman. But Tony tells us that he wants to push Batman to stack Weaken for his team. So that's kind of cool. Batman, I guess in 2v2s, his role is going to be, let's apply as much Weaken stacks as I can. So that's kind of cool. But he gives a few examples. The Batarang adds 1 stack of Weaken. All right, if you got some crazy plays with some Batarang combos, just as an example, Batman can throw the Batarang, hit the opponent, there's 1 stack of Weaken. And then you can run over, pick up the Batarang again, throw it again, hit the opponent, boom, there's a second stack of Weaken. And again, remember, each stack gives 5% extra damage and extra knockback, so that could be kind of crazy. And then he does tell us up air 2 adds 1 stack of Weaken. I don't know if the up air 1 needs to connect first or if that just needs to, you just have to perform the second up air, which then adds a stack, which is kind of cool. Again, I don't know if I'm reading that correctly, so I guess I can't really say too much about that. But then check this out. We just talked about this a couple minutes ago. Attacking while in smoke and 1 sec after coming out of the smoke reduced the Weaken stacks from 5 to 3. Remember we just said that it went from 1 stack all the way up to 5? Apparently Tony already played around with this, and I guess 5 was way too powerful, so he's bumping it down to 3. So if you perform an attack while in the smoke or coming out of the smoke, it will apply 3 stacks of Weaken instead of 5. So look at that. He's already making adjustments based on adjustments that they just got from the closed alpha. So they're moving fast, dude. They're moving fast. But one more thing here for Batman. They improved his side air with a faster startup, and it lingers for an extra frame. Now, yeah. Side air, faster startup, so the move just comes out quicker. I mean, that's basically what it says. But then it lingers for an extra frame. Like, that is actually pretty big. That can go from somewhat of a dud of a move to a legit combo extender. Like, this could be a legit thing. 1 extra frame maybe doesn't sound the greatest, but trust me, 1 more frame for a move lingering, that hitbox just staying out there, can make a world of difference. Now on to Shaggy, who is getting some buffs. Yeah, that's right. Shaggy's getting some buffs. So here's what they are. Tony tells us that Shaggy now starts with a sandwich with each life. Now, does that mean like when he spawns in, Shaggy is already going to be holding a sandwich? That's kind of crazy. That's a little crazy. So instead of having to go through the startup animation of trying to pluck a sandwich from the ground, which is where I get my sandwiches, by the way. But instead of going through the whole startup animation, he's just going to have it automatically. So that's kind of cool. That's an interesting change to Shaggy. But Shaggy's ground down attack has faster startup. If I'm remembering correctly, I think his ground down attack was him like stomping forward. Was that the correct one? Is that the right attack that I'm thinking of? But either way, whatever attack that is, faster startup. That's always good, right? Faster moves, sure, sign me up. And then Shaggy's down air special, which I can't remember for the life of me. His down air special? Which move was that? I remember the overhanded fist attack. but I don't think that was his special one. Whatever his down air special is, that has armor now. So, cool. I'm glad I could be very helpful in that case. I cannot remember what Shaggy's down air special is. I really don't remember. If somebody knows, let me know. Maybe it is the two-handed attack. I don't think it is. I really don't think. But whatever it is, it has armor. And then Tony does tell us, we'll start here with testing, and they'll see how it goes. So there's chances maybe Shaggy won't start with the sandwich anymore. They'll test this internally. Maybe we'll see some of this in the closed alpha. Not the closed alpha, sorry. In the open beta in July, but we'll get there when we get there. Now on to Taz. And this one hurts me a little bit because they're changing they're nerfing his tornado. Now look. As a Taz main from the closed alpha, I can say, yes, Taz's tornado was a little bit crazy of an attack. But I don't think it was OP as everyone made it out to be, but I will 100% agree that something needed to be changed about it. So here's what is changing with Taz's tornado. Taz's tornado has its base knockback reduced and additional recovery or end lag. So after the attack ends, he's going to be in a bit more of a vulnerable state for the opponent to come in and then punish him. So if they miss the tornado and you're close enough to the Taz who just missed, well, now you have a better chance to kind of follow up and punish the Taz for missing that tornado. So I agree with that. I do agree with a little extra end lag, that's for sure, because you could just sit there and spam that move over and over. That was annoying. But he also goes on to say that Taz, he's probably the new bottom tier with this change. Oh, that hurts. Oh, I don't like that at all. But he does say that he has to figure out where else to give Taz some power. Yikes. That kind of hurts. Hearing Taz might be the new bottom tier. Yikes. We'll see what they come up with, but at least Taz's tornado is being addressed. Again, it wasn't as broken. You could knock him out of it, but maybe it's just some people had some difficulty with it. Again, I 100% agree. It did need a little bit of adjusting and stuff, so we'll see how much this hurts him in the end, but Taz's NATO, it's getting nerfed. All right, so for the next one, I want you guys to take a look at this clip. This is from Twitter, so just check this out real quick. So after, that's kind of nuts. So Finn has this gimmick in the game where he collects these coins that he can get from certain attacks. And with those coins, he has his own little item shop where you can buy a couple power-ups. One of them is move up speed. And that's what you've seen right there. That Finn had 3 stacks of move up speed. So he bought move speed 3 times. Did you see how crazy fast he was going? Yeah, I would have been that exact same opponent. I would have walked off stage like, nope, I'm not dealing with this. And this person even tells us that 2 stacks is ridiculous also. So, yeah, what are they going to do about Finn? And somebody asked that exact question, right? Okay, now nerf Finn. So, are they going to nerf Finn? Yeah, I think the overall consensus was Finn was a pretty strong character from the closed alpha, so what's going to happen? Well, we got a little bit of insight here. So, Tony tells us that Finn, he already got nerfed, but we have to test more. Base movement speed reduced. Stacks of boost of speed have been reduced, have reduced speed, so they don't stack as much. So I don't know the exact percentage, but say it was 10% extra movement speed that you got from buying the first one. So then if you bought a second one, it would be an additional 10%. So he's saying that they're reducing that speed if you get more stacks of it, which is cool. I was thinking maybe don't have them stack at all, but that was just my opinion. Like you could only buy it once. You could buy all 3 different effects, but you can't stack the same effect. That way it's not super crazy broken, but and then also made sure that his hitboxes feel more correct. So Finn is getting some nerfs. Again, I think the big one, base movement speed has been reduced. So we'll see how that one goes. We'll see if Finn's kind of slower. We'll see if that changes. Doesn't say anything about his bag swing, his up special. I don't know if that needs to be adjusted, to be honest. I think that's a really good way of finishing attacks. Maybe kind of the same thing with Taz's tornado. Maybe if you miss the attack, maybe they could have an extra little bit of end leg on the attack. That way, if you miss, your opponent has a little bit better chance to punish you for missing. So I don't know. I feel like it's a very solid attack, but maybe that could use a little bit of tweaks and stuff. But yeah, we got a little bit of information here nonetheless from Tony about some buffs and a couple nerfs. Sorry, Taz. I'm so sorry. But either way, that is going to be it for this one. That's all that I could find that Tony told us about. Maybe there's more. And if there is, maybe I'll make another video, I suppose. I don't know. We'll see. But either way, that is going to be it for this one. I do hope you guys enjoyed. As always, let me know what your favorite buff or your favorite nerf from this little list of stuff was. I think a lot of people will be happy about the Taz. I'm not, but this game doesn't cater to me. So either way, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I guess I'll see you when I'm looking at you.